What's up, guys? This is Manga, and I'm coming to you with my top 5 completed manga under 10 volumes. These are not including one-shots or anthology collections, just because I want to make it like just 10 series that you can just go out and pick up that are under 10 volumes. The first volume in my top 5 is Black Torch. Now, Black Torch is about this guy who he can talk to animals, and through an event, he finds out that there are these monsters that exist in the world, and that his grandfather and a government agency that was formerly ninja are fighting back against them, and he ends up being merged with a super powerful one. It kind of has some of the standard shonen like inner demon type tropes, but it handles it really well, and the art is fantastic. It does get a little rushed at the end, but the artwork is absolutely insane. Like, look at that. Yeah, it's a really solid series. There's only 5 volumes out. It could have lasted maybe another, it could have lasted longer, and it got canceled, but I think it was really good for these 5 volumes. Next up is Erased by Kei Sanbei, and this is a really good series. I know that in Japan it was released in 8 volumes, but in the US we got it as 4 volumes. But it's a really nice hardcover. The story is about this guy who he can essentially travel back in time when something bad happens, and he fixes it. But one day he travels back in time all the way to when he was a kid, and so he uses that to help out a girl who ends up getting murdered by her abusive family. It's really good. It's been a little bit since I've read it, and I do plan to reread it, but it is definitely a great series under 10 volumes. Sup, guys? I want to take 1 second of your time to talk about one little thing. With the recent rise in manga prices, it can be a little expensive to continue collecting manga. So that's why I highly recommend you guys use Takara Cafe for any and all manga purchases. On the website, all manga is 20% off, and then there are tons of different ways to kind of bring down that manga price. And if you use coupon code Magnus22, you can get another 10% off your purchase. So I highly recommend you check out Takara Cafe today. Next up is Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku, which is one of the greatest slice of life rom-com manga that is out there. At least when it comes to the stuff in my collection. I don't have a lot of rom-coms, unfortunately. I definitely more of that up. Yeah, Wotakoi is essentially, it's an office rom-com where the main characters all have some form of, like, they're super hardcore nerds, but they kind of keep it in because quote-unquote normal people who see that are kind of turned off by it, so they kind of hide that part of themselves. And so it's kind of them just opening up to each other as they've never really been, like, done that before. It's really sweet, really wholesome. It's only 6 volumes, and there is a box set. And the 6th volume is, like, really thin compared to the other volumes. Also, yes, in Japan it's like 11 volumes, but you know, in the US it was released as 6, so it counts. Next up is A Silent Voice, and while yes, this is the collector's editions, both ways that you can collect the series are under 10 volumes. There's the singles and the box set, which is 7 volumes, and then there's the 2 collector's editions, which I highly recommend the collector's editions. I really like them. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the movie, it's really amazing. Essentially, there's this guy who he bullied a deaf girl back in elementary school, and he really regrets it, and what ends up happening is that he, before he plans on committing suicide, he wants to meet her one last time and apologize. But that meeting uh, kind of gives him encouragement, and he decides not to go through with it, and instead he wants to kind of repay what he's done, essentially. It's really good. I really love it. The art in here is really good. The collector's edition is nice because this one gives you an interview with the author, and then the next one gives you the original one shot, which is really interesting. I love it when we get to read like what the author had like put out to the world at first, and then see what we ended up getting, because I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's nothing else I really want to say about this series. It's definitely in my top 10 series of all time, and I highly recommend The Silent Voice to anyone who hasn't read it or watched it. Finally, the last volume is Planetest by Makoto Yukamura, who is also the author of Vinland Saga. And this is my favorite series that I have in my collection. It is about this guy who he helps clean the atmosphere of Earth from debris after all the ships and stuff that go from the moon and Mars to Earth and back. And he wants to go on the first trip to Jupiter, and him kind of training and stuff like that. But he also has this like fear of getting lost in space, and it does a really good, interesting job of like grasping you in like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just really, really good. I really love this. It's only 2 volumes, so it's not that difficult to pick up. And the art in here is absolutely amazing. Let's see, like the vastness of space. Kind of see him like panicking from his trip. The color pages are amazing. And then Dark Horse did a great job with the like some of the coloration, like let's see, like for how bright the white and the contrast of the black is just really nice. It's a really solid release by Dark Horse, and I really love Planetest. So here are my top 5 manga under 10 volumes that are completed. I'm thinking about doing the same video, but for manga that are still ongoing, which that'll be interesting. And then please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me down below what manga under 10 volumes that you really love. Do you agree with this list? And yeah, I'll see you guys again very soon. Ciao.